Well, folks, we're at the tail end of our Transcend workshop. Let's talk about money. Money that makes the world go round. And this is actually very, very simple. The 3 M's of money. I teach this to kids all the time, and they get it. And yet, most adults need to know it as well. The first M is to make money. Simple. First M, got to make money. There are 3 ways you make money. In the job, where you trade time for dollars. So you get paid $20 an hour, or $200 an hour, or $2,000 an hour if you're a surgeon. Trade time for dollars. Time for dollars is limited to how much time you can invest in doing something. So the next way you make money is to leverage on time. So you leverage on other people's time. How that works is this. Imagine someone with a lawn mowing business. They get $10 an hour mowing a lawn. They mow 10 lawns, they get $100, but it costs them 10 hours. But they earn $10 an hour. To leverage on other people's time. Once they've got lots of clients, this person hires someone else to mow the lawn for them, pays them $8 and keeps 2. So then in 1 hour, this person earns $20 because he's got 10 people out there mowing lawns and he gets $2 per person. So that's how you leverage on other people's time. Then the third way is you leverage on assets. And this is what happens with business. You build a business of value and then someone comes and buys it, or you sell it, or you franchise an idea. Franchising used to be, the in thing with business. You have an idea, you franchise it, you sell lots of it, and each franchise is very, very expensive, and you make lots and lots and lots of money franchising. McDonald's is the king of franchisors. They're still really good, and I can't remember the last figures that I heard from McDonald's franchise, but it was in the order of an excess of $2 million. So you got to have $2 million cash before they'll give you a McDonald's franchise, and then you've got to have 6 months free time for them to train you. So you've got to give 6 months of your time to go sit in the store and learn it all. That's the criteria at the moment for a McDonald's franchise, and most people haven't got the money, let alone that kind of time to throw into it. So this is how you make money. And most people are stuck in the first category, in a job, where you trade time for dollars. And that only serves you short term and gives you a limited income. And the problem today is that the cost of living is such that when you get to retirement age, your superannuation isn't going to feed you or sustain you. The pension is not going to be enough to support you when you get to retirement age. And it's going up to 70 in a couple of decades. So when I get to retirement age, I physically simply don't expect to have a pension. So I'm factoring my future, no pension. However, I don't wish to stop what I'm doing. I'm having the biggest time of my life doing what I'm doing. So retiring is not an option. So that's the first one, to make money. The second one is to manage money. And again, there's 3 ways you manage money. You first have a budget, because you need to know what's coming in and where it's all going. And having a budget, like everyone will tell you, is the first basis of money management. The second thing to do is to get more for your dollar. So if your dollar buys you 10 pence, see if you can get 11 pence for that dollar. So that's the second way you manage money. you get more out of your dollar, which is why people go and look at sales and things like that. And so if you're always consciously looking to get more out of your dollar, that's how you can manage your money better. The third way to manage money is to plug the leaks. A leak is when you have a bill that you don't pay on time and it costs you extra money. Like your credit card, if you don't pay your credit card on time, they charge you interest on the entire lot per day. That's called a leak. If you drive your car just for one errand that you can cover just for one errand instead of covering 3 at the same time with a little bit of rearranging, that's another leak. If your electricity bill is high and you don't review why it's high and where it's high, that's another leak. So plugging the leaks in terms of your money bucket is really good. Part of plugging your leak in your money bucket is keeping your car in good condition. Because if your car is not in good condition, your petrol consumption goes up. And most people don't monitor their petrol consumption, they just put the money in a tank. One thing I do is I always check petrol consumption every time I fill up. I know exactly the state of the car because I know how many kilometers it should do with the type of driving I do. So that's plugging the leaks. The third end is to multiply money. So how you multiply money is you earn interest, first of all. Putting money in the bank, or you can lend money to someone unsecured for their purposes. And unsecured means there's a risk you don't get your money back. And they'll give you a high level of interest, maybe double what the bank gives you. So earning interest is how you multiply money, first of all. Second way to multiply money is through investment. So you put your money into something, like maybe shares or property and so on, and watch it grow. You can invest in business, watch it grow. The third area to multiply is to trade. Play the stock market, share trading, and things like that. Forex, futures, etc.
Or currency.
Or currency. So, they're the 3 ways you multiply money. And most of you would have heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And he talks about a very powerful principle. And a very powerful principle that he talks about is that there's one thing separating the rich from the poor. And the one thing separating the rich from the poor is that the poor earn their money, pay tax on what they earn, and then after that use what's left to pay for everything else. The rich earn their money, pay for what they need out of the gross profits of what they earn, and then pay tax on what's left. They can do that because they have a business. And that alone makes an incredible difference to wealth in the bottom line. And so, what does that mean? That means that for you to get ahead in the financial area is for you to develop some entrepreneurial skills and start a small business of some sort. And a small business that you start of some sort then will give you much greater scope for managing your financial affairs. Once you have a small business, then everything you do associated with the business is tax deductible. And that makes a profound difference. See, in my travels, everything I spend is tax deductible because it's part of business. So every overseas trip I make can be that, even if it's just a proportion. So that's the difference. So developing some entrepreneurial skills is actually essential for getting ahead. Otherwise, if you don't, you are stuck in this category of trading time for dollars. And if you don't expand your financial world, then how can you expand the avenues for abundance to come to you when it comes to material wealth? So multiple sources of income is good and important. See? Now the quick way everybody tries to jump on to make money is network marketing. I've been there, done that, tried lots. I've not found one that works. Not one. They all sound wonderful. Their marketing is very, very slick. And it's all usually product or service based. However, it's not to be dismissed, because there could be something for you. So my counsel is to be open to it and don't dismiss it, but look at it thoroughly, diligently, and ask all the hard questions. Believe nothing of all the marketing, and look underneath and see. But the best thing is to follow your passions and have something evolve out of that. So this is what's happened with Sian and myself. I mean, I never dreamed 2 years ago that I'd be doing all this with the Lucia. And, you know, if you told me 2 years ago you're going to have a Lucia international business, I go, what? Can't see how it's happening, but we're now sitting on one. And it's gaining momentum without me trying. I've got inquiries from Canada, Spain, all sorts of different places. The US market's been open to us. So it's quite phenomenal. And then doors are all the time opening, and I just physically don't have time to knock on all the doors and service all those things. So do I worry about it? No. I'm just having a good time. So here are the 3 M's of money.
Maybe you need an assistant who can help you.
Sorry? Oh. Well, there's going to be many opportunities for that in the future. Many opportunities.
I'm just putting it out there.
Many opportunities for that in the future. Because this, what we're doing with the Lucia Light is only going to grow as time goes on. And I'm sure, you know, the universe has bigger plans than I've got for it. And it's a case of just being in the right place and space for that to evolve. So here are the 3 M's of money, which is very, very simple. However, very few people tackle and do it. And so I get back to what I keep saying and repeating, which is this. The best thing you can do for yourself in all this is to set aside 2 to 3 hours a week. Block that time out for creating your future. And what you do is you just use that time to dedicate yourself to work on your passion project. So find a passion that you love and enjoy that has the legs to be profitable. And then go and do your work, go and do your research, go and build something, go and test something, go and try something, and go and do something. Work at it diligently every week without fail. 6 months goes past, you might have the seed of something. 12 months goes past, something turns up. In your second year, you might have a prototype of something. You might be starting to earn some income in your second year. By the time you get to year 3, you're earning something decent or half decent. And by the end of year 3, if you haven't made enough money to replace your current job, something is wrong. But it just requires you to set aside 2 to 3 hours every week and be diligent about just doing it. So research, trial, error, prototype, whatever. And just monitor trends out there, because the opportunities out there are immense, absolutely immense. I've got enormous opportunities ahead of me with what I'm doing with the Lucia, with all the stuff going on in business and so on. And once you go down there, one thing spawns another. For example, out of the Sacred Light journey that I ran in Ramashala in the Big Island, in Hawaii in May, out of that has come the whole blueprint and concept for spiritual light retreats, which is what I'm going to run down in Barren Hinterland in October. And that particular model, which, should you attend to it, is a powerful model that can be used in a plethora of different ways. That model, that concept, is the next greatest thing in business leadership training.
Is it spirit-based?
Pardon?
It's a silly question. Is it spirit-based?
Well, it is spirit-based at whatever level you wish to put it. So, the high-level business training development is moving into the spirit area. So you can't get too heavy with spirit with them, but you can put some spiritual principles involved in that. But that's where it's going. That's where the trend is going. And once this is developed and companies start to see it and becomes developed, becomes mainstream, it'll be huge. Now I know that once the Lucia gets some legs in the sales area, it'll be huge. I've already got some data that it can improve closing rate in sales in people. I've already done a presentation to the executive director and the executive chairman and HR director at iSelect to know them. When I go and tell them that I've now got data that this has the potential to increase your closing rate 10%, they're going to be very interested. And then once I do the work with them and put it in and make it all happen, and then I go back to that place and I work with them to help them integrate that and have the results show, then they're going to report in the next annual report that things have gone up because of the Lucia Light. The moment they do that, the entire business world that's serious is going to take notice. Then I'm going to have a very big problem on my hands. How am I going to service the demand? Because there's only one of me. So I'm already thinking about what's the possibilities of that. But you see, this is secondary to all my light work. So I do the light work first, and then all this stuff follows. But I respond to this. I don't, sit at home waiting for it to come to me. So the key is this. You step up, you show up, sit in beingness, and let the universe take care of the rest. And it works. Any questions? I will finish the session here.